The time in London is 6:25 a.m. So, I had something on my mind too, Mr. Johnny.
Okay.
What was on your mind? I'm Ed Galvez. I'm the guest this week.
Ed Galvez.
They told me they weren't going to say my name, so.
No, we never hear from our listeners if they like that or
We
not.
never hear from our listeners.
Oh, a quick shout out to Melanie for saying she loved the Jay Lynn podcast.
All right. Hey,
She sent me
Melanie.
a message that she loved it. It was great. All right, so when you think
Who
of...
is she? How do you know her?
Oh, she's a fan.
Yeah, she just.
Yeah,
popped
she
on
actually went to
that.
go see me at Sunnyvale this past weekend.
Does she have your phone number?
No.
You
She
have her
might
phone?
have my hotline
Okay.
because I had a hotline number that I gave out to like get things, but no.
Because I was talking to someone, just like, yeah, once you have the phone number, they're not for your fans anymore. They're just your friends.
No, no, she doesn't. She even when she was at the show and I pointed her out, she's like, "I'm not a stalker." I was like, "Yeah, I know you're not."
You know who says that? Stalkers.
Stalkers. Exactly. All right, so let me ask you this: when you think of Generation X, what pops in your head? Like, what defines Generation X to you?
90s.
Billy
Yeah, but
Idol.
what?
Billy
Yeah.
Idol's first band.
Billy, what was that really?
Yeah.
He was Generation X. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
usually like when you see it, it's like grunge, right?
Yeah.
Well-
Plaid shirts kind of thing.
Technically, I'm a Xennial, which is
That weird millennial
I'm like the
Generation
end of
X.
Generation X and the beginning of Millennial.
Yeah, that's why. I am.
Basically, I'm. My health is starting to go, but yet I know how to use social media.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
Like,
what
I
do you
think when you grow up with the internet, that makes you like a Xennial or whatever. But Generation X for me is all of 1991 to 99.
Okay, if you had to describe a Generation Xer, how would you describe him?
That guy thinks he's way cooler than he really is, but he doesn't want to acknowledge that he thinks he's cool.
Okay. So let me ask you this: baby boomers. When you think of baby boomers, what do you think of?
That guy thinks he did a lot of shit, but he really didn't do much. Just had a go-do war. He didn't really sign up for one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I'm like, whoa. Oh, that's interesting.
I think I'm wearing a blue button-up shirt at a Grateful Dead tribute band.
Okay, all right. I think, all right, okay. My whole thing is, this is what I was noticing earlier. You know, like you see these articles that are like Generation Xers, blah, 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 and they always use kind of like a grunge picture.
Yeah.
But they forget that the 90s also had, that was gangster rap. That's also Generation X.
Yeah.
Gangster rap and Mi Vida Loca and stuff like that. You know, but it's never portrayed as that.
Well, it's because, we all agree that Black Lives Matter, but according to to the media, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, why is that always taken away from the definition of Generation X when that was part of it?
I guess because whenever they cut to play the music, they don't have to bleep anything out.
Yeah.
So they'd rather stick with lithium.
I think it's also like a racist thing. Like they kind of just have a that's black people shit.
Yeah, they don't. Well, they don't let. But even then, there's no cholos. Cholos were Generation X.
Cholos. I thought cholos were like Generation.
They started Generation X.
80s, and I think it was cholos
Late
from
80s
like
and 90s.
late 70s.
What did they?
Yeah. There's cholos in the late 70s.
Oh, okay.
My dad was a gangbanger, so
Okay.
they had them
Well, he's
in,
a
like, the 70s.
gangbanger. He wasn't a cholo.
Well, he's a cholo.
How'd he get out?
He did.
Yeah,
He
Johnny.
doesn't let me wear red.
He doesn't let you
He
wear
doesn't let me
red.
wear red when I get to the house. He's like,
That's funny because one of your favorite plaid shirts is red.
and he looks at me with so much more disappointment. Just
Yeah.
like,
What was your dad's color?
blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's Saturnos. I can't say it, but Nortenos are red. Saturnos are
Surenos?
Surenos. That's it. Yeah, Surenos are blue.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, guys.
It's all right. Neither do I. I just know. I know that somehow. How do I fucking know that?
Yeah, I never understood that because you can pull off the accent, but yet you don't speak it. Yet I speak Spanish, but I have a total Pocho accent.
Well, because I grew up around it. Like I grew up with I grew up poor with like paisas and shit. So they were my friends because none of the third generation my kids want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, you want to hang out? And they're like, okay, let's hang out. You like soccer? And I was like,
You like it? Okay, man.
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
just
an
like-
accent either. I came from South Texas, so I should have an accent, and I don't have one.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you think you don't have? I think it's because I don't even know why I don't have an accent.
Well, because I audition for a lot of Spanish-speaking commercials, and like if it's ever like just a couple words, I'm fine. But like but sometimes it's like
but
a
they want
big
you to
monologue,
riff,
and then I'm just like fuck, because like. And then they want me to have an accent. I'm just like, all I have is Slowpoke Rodriguez or Speedy Gonzales. Like, I don't.
Oh, man.
If you want Geico, call. It's like, did you have to say it that slow? I got to. That's the only way.
They should be
or
they
is
should
this
be. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
or that high. What are you
Why aren't they like insurance spokespeople? That would be the best.
Slowpoke Rodriguez?
Slowpoke Rodriguez?
Yeah, you know what? They could.
Speedy's going too fast.
I'm not like that. That's why I trust Progressive.
Yeah.
That would be right.
Yeah.
You know what? Where I noticed, especially like over like in Panorama City, they sell insurance like it's like beer in like Mexican bodegas, where it's just a hot chick, and it's like Veronica's insurance.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and it is that. It's like Veronica's insurance. Okay, all right.
It's Veronica's, Maria's, and Yeseli's or some shit like that.
It's like, this girl's legit.
Yeah.
She's gonna get an accent. I'll pay for it. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, damn.
What if you got in an accident? You had to call Veronica. She had to go assess the situation, and she just punked out the other people to take blame. Like, hey, you did it. Okay, I did.
Veronica's down.
Right? Like, oh, I don't want to fuck with Veronica.
She shows up in a mini skirt and just trying to punk people.
Hey, you crashed. You made it. Oh, okay, I did. It's like, all right, another check. There you go. Call me again, Veronica. I'm out.
I think like Latinas on billboards have like mastered the look of like sexy but powerful.
Yeah?
Yeah, because every time I see like a hot Latina on a billboard, she's like either like in charge of an insurance agency or like trying to book a flight for you or some shit.
I'm tired of Mexican ladies trying to book flights for me. It's like, I have a computer. I can do this myself.
But like every time I'm just like, oh fuck, she did that. She made it herself up there. Like, I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of like Veronica's insurance agency.
Yeah, who's her print modeling agent?
I hope it goes big. What if Veronica's insurance went just as big as Geico and all those, and we just saw like this Super Bowl is presented by Veronica's agency?
Oh, I hope so.
Well, one of the billboards for Veronica's insurance, it's like her like with her arms crossed with the LA Galaxy behind her. It's like Veronica's insurance and the LA Galaxy get on a winning team.
Oh, so she's going up.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what? They're not involved with each other.
She's just hoping they don't see that billboard.
Well,
She's just like, hopefully they don't see it.
Well, obviously they're not. Those pictures were taken separately.
Yeah, I got you.
Did you guys like Speedy Gonzales when he was on air?
I mean, to be honest, man, when I think of, how people are like, I love this guy and the car. All the cartoons kind of had the same premise. There was the hero, the slick hero that always got away with things, and the dunce villain.
Yeah.
So to me, none of them really stood out. It's not like Speedy or any of the characters stood out to me.
That's me, or that's supposed to be me. It was
yeah.
It was,
I actually never felt a connection to any of those cartoons like that.
I had like separate connections. Like with Speedy Gonzales, it was like my Mexican heritage.
One of my first jokes was dissing Speedy Gonzales being one of our icons of Mexican heritage.
Like I remember that joke. It was good. It was a very good joke.
I don't. Oh, thank you.
What's the joke?
It's like an old.
I don't remember.
No, it's like an old
really,
YouTube clip.
Well, you liked it. So.
Oh, is it? What was it? Yeah, I don't
remember word for word.
I don't remember.
That's a nice joke.
I think it was like we had our three major icons were like Desi Arnaz, somebody else, and then Speedy Gonzales. I think.
Cantinflas.
Well, Cantinflas. Yeah, it was probably that, and then. Back when I was doing more Latino material.
Yeah.
And then I realized, you know what? You can't sell this everywhere.
Oh, you know what? Ricky Ricardo gets a lot of credit, but like no one ever talks about Gomez Adams.
No, I guess not, right? Yeah.
And he was really Latin. Like he was all over his wife all the time.
Yeah, he was the consensual Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah,
like,
he was. Him and his wife had heat.
Yeah.
Like it was weird with Ricky and Lucy.
She was very chola looking.
Yeah, she had the eyebrows.
they've all taken her look.
That like I don't give a fuck, but I love my man look.
Yeah, I'm gonna name my daughter after a day in the week.
Miércoles and Pugsley.
Pugsley.
And Primo Eat.
Yeah.
Did they ever find out why is her name Wednesday?
No, but it's got. I probably was said in the cartoon. Because I remember the Adam Sandler cartoon. But like Lucy and Ricky never had that passion. They never had that chemistry.
They didn't even have a share a bed until like in the later seasons.
And all the only thing that was like Hispanic about Ricky was his temper. That's all. It was just like, oh, look at him, he's getting mad again.
And his appetite for white women.
And his appetite for white women. And his love for work and not going home. What the fuck? Lucy, I'm going to fucking work to get away from you. Like, you couldn't say that.
Lucy, you can't be part of the show, Lucy.
He had a nightclub and didn't have a drug problem.
He did have a nightclub.
Like, their best friends were just fucking...
the apartment managers.
Yeah. Like,
That's
he had
right.
no showbiz friends. Like, even like when they went to, like, Hollywood, and that season when they were in Hollywood, they're still their best friends were the fucking, like...
They brought their friends with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why he never like shot up too big in the career because they're like, you don't schmooze.
Yeah, he never schmoozed.
Yeah. Ricky, you gotta schmooze.
Yeah, fucking. You have Harpo Marx and John Wayne coming to your apartment in Hollywood, and yet they don't remain friends.
I introduced them to Fred. Fred's a cool guy.
Fun fact: Vivian Vance was younger than Lucille Ball, but they forced her to get fat so she could look.
They forced her to get fat.
They wanted her to get fat so that way she looks more like Fred Mertz's
wife, like a
Ethel?
attainable wife.
Yeah.
Oh man.
On her off season, was she like skinny? Did she like?
Yeah, she was originally like a hottie, and then they're just like. All right.
I still thought she was a hottie. I liked her for her personality and her loving manners toward Fred.
Yeah.
All right, it wasn't all about looks.
And
for
she
me.
was down. She was down with Lucy. Whatever you want, Lucy, let's do it. We're gonna get stuck on a roof together. Fine with that.
She wasn't even a part of the show. There was no plan of her to be a part of Lucy's show. She was just like, I need to do something. I don't have any kids. Why not?
I don't want this mediocre white shriveled dick. It's like, sure, what do you want?
Okay, so in the Addams cartoons, which first appeared in the New Yorker, I know that. None of them had names, right? It was when it was adapted to TV that they gave her the name Wednesday, which is based on a well-known nursery rhyme line. Wednesday's child is full of woe. I don't know this nursery rhyme. How is this a well-known nursery rhyme?
It was back then.
So Wednesday's child is full of woe. That's why she's named Wednesday.
But, oh, man. So it was just like a weird nursery rhyme?
Monday's child is the nursery rhyme. It's one of the many fortune-telling songs, popular nursery rhyme. Who's singing these to kids?
They used to say a lot of fucked up shit to kids.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, Monday's child is full of grace. Tuesday's child is
God's real.
Yeah, Wednesday's child.
I love you. It's all gonna be okay.
Yeah. Don't get that disease, or you're gonna go with God. that was every.
Yeah, the ring around the
rhyme.
rosy.
Yeah.
That was just like, oh, good, we didn't like people are dead.
Yeah, well, that was
But we
about
can dance to it.
Salem witch trials.
Saturday's child works
Rosie?
hard for living.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was about the Black Plague.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Ring around the rosies, pocket full of
Oh, yeah,
posies.
you're right.
Right? Yeah.
So they'd put posies in people's pockets to smell like cover the dead smell
Whoa.
before like that would work. That's how stupid people were.
Well, what could they do, man?
well, that's why I put posies up my butt. Like if I'm like on a car trip and I don't have time
this
to.
guy. Where'd you find this guy?
At Hyperion
Craigslist.
Tavern.
Oh,
Which I got booked on that show from Craigslist.
Me too. Me too.
When?
The Hyperion Tavern, like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, this was like
I was still in college.
2008.
I don't even remember.
2008.
I'm sure I did look for comedy gigs on Craigslist, but I don't remember if I did.
I hate that that's like a mark that I'm doing well. Like I haven't looked for a gig on Craigslist in a decade.
In a decade, I'm
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I don't think they're putting them up there anymore.
Yeah, they still. I look for them.
You know
They're
what? That
fun.
was an LA thing.
Hmm?
That was an LA thing. I think Craigslist shows, like putting up shows for, hey, we need entertainers. Hey, you want to be a comedian? That wasn't like a Dallas thing.
No, you guys had like actual shows.
Well, because it's not. We don't. No, I just don't think we have the shady promoters that LA has.
Oh no,
But
I would
there's
get
also
like
lots of
actual
promoters that
gigs.
just don't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
like
saying,
they want
yeah.
to put on a show, but they didn't have no comedy friends.
We don't know who comedians are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's what we found. That's what I found.
That's how I became friends with Dave Cyrus. I don't know if you know him. He was a writer for SNL.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know. Whoa, name dropper.
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't know he was gonna do this in the
I didn't know
podcast.
either.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know he knew Dave Cyrus.
I didn't know.
anyway, but
Okay. Any other names you want to drop?
Huh?
yeah. Who do you want?
I know Johnny Roque.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know Jeff Goldblum?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
fuck.
fuck. Do you know Ethel Mertz?
Yeah. Vivian Vance. That's all I know.
No, he knows names.
Who was your favorite fucking Gilligan's Island character? Like,
Who watched Gilligan's
you
Island?
I did.
You didn't watch Gilligan's
Oh,
Island?
sorry.
I
No,
know
I didn't.
both versions of the theme song.
There's two versions?
Oh, yeah, there's only
Yeah.
one real difference.
Really?
What is
Yeah,
it?
one of them ends the professor and Marianne. The other one ends the professor and the rest.
That's crazy.
And there was only one other cast member left, which was Marianne. And they're like, and the rest, like,
That's
they really
funny.
had it out for her.
The,
She was the Vivian Vance of that show.
There is two versions of Dr. Dre's "Keep Their Heads Ringin'."
And what's
With
the other
With
version?
one different line. The original version, there's a line where he says, "I use Crest so there's no cavity creeps in my grill," and then they changed it to a more gangster line because they were like, "Why is he talking about toothpaste in the middle of this gangster song?"
Well, what's he talking about? The creeps in his grill. Is he talking about jizz?
No,
like
cavities. There's
cavities.
no cavity creeps. Like, yo, these they're creeping in my grill. It was just talking about how
I feel
fresh he was.
like that's a metaphor for something.
Nah.
No, it
I
wasn't.
think
It was just a
like
bad line.
toothpaste.
It was, like, Keep the Heads Ringing was done around the time that he was, like, separating himself from Death Row, like, because that was a solo track. So he probably didn't enlist the writers to help him write this out. Maybe he had one, and then they put that line, and he's like, we'll just replace it.
And so I better make this statement for the soundtrack of this
It's just
independent.
well, no, they
Yeah.
changed it for the soundtrack. I'm sure Cube heard it and was like, dude, that's a weak-ass line. What are you talking about? Talking about how you don't get cavities. That's the least gangster thing to brag about.
Gangsters got tartar.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's a good way of like separating yourself from death row. But like, hey guys, I'm really afraid of cavities. I'm like, oh, you can't bang with us.
I still think it's a metaphor. I don't think he was actually talking about
Wait, what's your favorite
think-
song metaphor?
song metaphor.
Yeah,
That's a weird fucking question, man. That's really big.
a song metaphor?
No, but that's like, what's
Like-
your
Yeah.
favorite song?
My favorite song or song metaphor?
Song metaphor.
Okay,
Metaphor in a song, cause like I like
Okay,
Doing
you
the
got
Butt by EU because that's about it's about the Holocaust.
Really? Oh, I was like, fuck you, fuck you. I like Creed. The Can You Take Me High? That song?
Yeah.
Like I just like that metaphor. Like, oh man, no one's gonna actually take you higher, Creed. You stay at the bottom
What's
of the
that a
barrel where you
metaphor
belong.
for?
For like raising them up physically, like physically taking him higher.
I don't think that's how I don't
Are you
think
a
you
big
know
Creed
what
fan?
metaphors are.
You a big Creed fan?
Is that a metaphor?
Well, no,
Did you
but-
own
well-
the Creed album?
Well, he is
No.
he is
Oh,
a
okay.
Christian, so yeah, all the songs are about God.
Okay, all
like
right.
uplifting his spirit too.
All
Yeah.
right, okay, I'll let
With
it
arms
happen.
wide open because they're nailed to a cross.
And
Yeah.
they can't really go anywhere else.
There you go.
Man.
So let me
What is
ask
they-
you this, man.
Yeah.
And I tried asking Jalen this. What is your one of your favorite stories to tell of your life?
Of my life.
Yeah, like what's one that you really love to like? Yo, this moment in my life is great, or this happened. It's crazy.
That. What am I? Should I just tell the story? Or?
Go for
Yeah.
it. Let's
You
hear.
already
it.
wanna hear the story.
Yeah, let's hear the story. Oh,
All
we're
right.
gonna hear
I
story
think you
time.
might have heard it before.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known him for a while.
Oh, okay.
Stories overlap, but go ahead.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, so this was like around 06. I was working at this theater, and I was like super broke at this time. And,
Yeah. Movie theater.
No, it's
okay.
comedy theater.
Oh.
And there was the manager of the theater, like he would like always like pin me out for comedy gigs, but it was never like to do my act that I've been doing. It was always just like
just have you
just
push it, bark for him, kind of thing.
No, not bark, but it would just be like we need someone to dress up like, you know,
Oh,
to
okay.
put on something, whatever. So I get this call 1 week before Christmas, all right? And
Okay.
he's like, what are you doing on the 25th? And I was like, why? And he's like, all right, I know this sounds weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, this is going to be good. And he's like, there is a woman that wants to hire you or wants to hire someone to roast her husband at their house on Christmas Day.
Oh man.
at this point, I'm just like,
I'm feeling bad for you right now.
Yeah, and I was like, how much time do they want? I was like,
How much
do you
time?
want?
You're already in it. How much time?
I was like, because I was like, so they want me to like host it, and other people were just like, no, you host it. I
You
was
just
like,
talk shit to this man.
I was like, probably it's like 45 minutes. It's like it's $150. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Like it's weird. I'm like, yeah, it's weird. But like I was so broke, I was just like, you know what? Just tell her I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just tell her to call me right away because it's less than a week. I was like, tell her to call me and we'll like, I'll ask her a bunch of questions. She's like, okay. So she calls me. So it's Wednesday now. Christmas is next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Thursday she calls me and she's like, so I just tell you things about my husband and you write jokes about it. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
She's like, well, he's in the next room. I can't talk right now. I'm like, that's fine. I'll email you a bunch of questions. Just answer them, and I'll get to work.
Yeah.
So I sent her off 50 questions that night. Friday morning, she emails me with 5 answered, and she's like, I'll answer the rest when I get back from Vegas. I'm going away for the weekend. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah,
like
we got to figure this out.
Yeah. So, like, I do what I can with those five questions, and then, like, I just have my thumb on my butt the whole weekend. So then she gets back Sunday and answers the majority of the questions.
Okay.
And then she's like, hey, I was thinking about it, can you roast like everybody else at the party? And I'm just like, yeah, I guess. Just give me names and like what
answer the same questions for all of them.
Yeah. I was like, just give me like the one thing that like everybody makes fun of them about. And she's like, oh, you could be like, Melinda has like has had like 6 kids in 6 years. You could be like, Octomom called, she wants her kids back. And I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. Just fucking, just give me the information. I'll write the jokes. I'm not gonna do a David Spade bit, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I also asked her, I was just like, are you guys like religious at all? And she's like, well, we're Orthodox Jews. I was like, what does that mean exactly?
Oh,
you know?
super religious.
Yeah. She's like, it's okay. Like, you could be dirty. Like the kids will be in the other room. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So,
No.
so I plan it out and I write.
And they
like,
did this on Christmas?
Well, yeah. Well, I this is what they explained to me. They explained to me that this guy, her husband, this guy Jeremy, that he's like a bully. He like picks on like everybody in the family, and nobody ever stands up to him. So
they wanted.
So I was like, no wonder this guy is like a fucking asshole because in this situation, it's like he's El Guapo. I'm the Three Amigos. And this Jewish family is the Pueblo of Santa Poco.
Yeah.
And they're hiring outside guns to come defend them. You know?
Yeah. To teach them how to sew.
Yeah. and you know it's bad if they're bringing in a Gentile on Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like Christmas Day. I'm with my family, and like I'm not hanging out with my family. I'm just like in the corner, just fiercely trying to write more jokes.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, all right, I gotta go. And they're like, okay. So I drive out to Valley Village, and I wrote out 45 jokes. And I was like, I could do a joke a minute. It'll be fine. I'll be laughing. And she also told me that I could do like my own material in between to like pad it for time.
Oh, yeah.
So I get to I get to the street, and I park down the street, and I get there kind of early. So I set the timer, and I start timing myself reading the jokes, and I'm done in like 7 minutes. I'm just like, son of a bitch.
God.
And then she texts me. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm down the street. She's like, text me when you're out front. And I'm like, okay. So then like I walk to the front of the house, and I'm like, I'm right here. And then the door just whips open. It's like, here he is. And the house is just infested with Orthodox Jews. So like from the babies of the babies to the cottonists to the cotton tops. It's like, it's just like everyone's like, yeah. And I'm just like,
they were ready.
Yeah. And I was like, you guys know why I'm here? Like, yeah. And I'm just like, all right. So they put that guy Jeremy, he's in an easy chair right next to the fireplace, and they put me in front of a lit fireplace. And then like I'm already like, I'm a chubby dude.
Is the fire on?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I'm like I'm sweating right now, and it's not really that hot. Now picture me in a stressful situation. I'm wearing a Christmas sweater in front of a lit fireplace in a situation that's like super stressful. So like I swear to God, like I'm doing half of this with my eyes closed because it's just like dumping in my eyeballs. So I'm like, okay. So then I start doing like I do 10 minutes of jokes about him, and then like they're into it. So I'm like, all right. So now that I got them, so like I do like a bit from my act just to like buy time. And then collectively they're like not having it. Like some girl starts talking on the phone right in front of me.
Damn.
People start clearing plates.
It's hard to follow crowd work.
Yeah.
Well, insult work.
Yeah. So I can't be like, shut up, cunts, because even though it's a roast, it's still like a Jewish family, and I'm not really that guy anyway.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, fuck, I gotta get back on board. So I get back to making jokes about him, and then they're on board. And then I set the timer the minute I got up there. So
Yeah.
So I was just like, once my commitment's
Just
done.
letting it go. Yeah.
So then I start like roasting the people at the party. So I'm just like, yeah, and fucking Isaac, the worst, and like, yeah, he is cheap. So then I'm like, oh, Melinda's here. She's had 6 kids in 6 years. Her vagina's so ugly, she accidentally calls it Jeremy. And then like all the guys were just like, ugh, and the women were just like gasp, and she like looks at me, she's like, why would you say that? And I was just like, ugh, like I noticed that like it got really tense. Yeah. So then I turned to Jeremy, and it's like it was about time for me to wrap up. So I'm like, hey Jeremy, obviously I don't know you. When Katie contacted me about doing this, I sent her a bunch of questions, and I wrote jokes on the answers. One of the questions was, why are we honoring him today? Why is he so loved? Why is he so great? Yeah. And that was the one question she left blank. And she drops her wine glass, like in the way like a woman that's going to get hit later. She's like, I didn't have time to answer that one. And which only like made me feel like more nervous because I could see fear in her eyes. Yeah. And then so I was just like, oh, fuck. So then I grab a manila envelope and I was like, I have one last gift for you. It's divorce papers. I fucked your wife. Good night. And then I just walk out the door. And then I just smoke a cigarette and I'm just like, I don't know how to get my money. Yeah. So... And so then she comes out and she's just like, that went well. You think it went well? I think it went well. I was just like, just give me a check.
Yeah.
And then
so you had him up until those last 3 jokes.
I never really.
What a closer! What a closer! I fucked her wife. Here's divorce.
See you later. Yeah. And you too, Melinda. That's crazy, man. I can't do private parties. Every time someone asks me, I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, just contact me. But I never give them any contact info because I know it's like that. I'm like, yeah, just find me online.
Well, here's a text that I got today or yesterday.
Like somebody asked me for a private party this past weekend. Yeah. Do you do private parties? Yeah. And they wouldn't even buy a T-shirt.
What?
They wanted me to give them a free T-shirt. I'm like, you think I'm going to give you my info for... Man. Fuck you.
Well, okay, so I got this text. This was today. It's like, hey, a friend of mine works for WIC, which I found out is Women, Infants, and Children. They're looking for a comedian to do a half-hour show at a Christmas party they throw for teenage boys. I'm assuming they're going to say that they can't pay, but someone could probably donate their time since it's a charity 501c3. Yeah. Then that they use for their taxes. Thought I'd reach out to you and see if you knew anyone who would be interested. So, like, I'm just like, fuck. Because I would do it, but it's just like it's already like for like teenage boys. I'm just like,
it's a headache.
If I can be guaranteed that I'm going to get a good story out of it that I can use later.
Yeah, that might be the reason that I do some of these gigs.
Yeah, well, it's also just like I do a fine job reminding myself that I'm old. I don't need to talk to a bunch of teenage boys to remind myself that I'm out of touch.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's such a weird thing when you like. Oh man, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not young.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah, explain.
Like the first time it hits you.
Yeah.
Like, there's such a disconnect between you and that generation where you, at one point you're like, hey, I'm just like you guys.
And but why do you want to hang out with that generation?
But no, it's like it's the first. It's not like
I can't stand them.
Yeah, but like that first time you realize, I'm not a part of this group anymore. Yeah. Like at one point they're your peers and they're like, they're my friends. We do dickish things.
Yeah.
And then later on you're like, I can't hang out with guys like that. That's way too young for me to hang out with.
Yeah. Well, it's like I quit playing video games at 2002. So like,
Cold Turkey.
Well,
the video game Cold Turkey.
Yeah, because it was like right after Bond GoldenEye. Like I beat it on easy, and it was such an exhausting thing that like going back and doing it again under like agent level and 00 agent level. I was I can't. And I was pretty new to comedy at that point, and I was just like, I can't put any more time. I was like, I either need to quit drinking or quit playing video games, because I can't do both. And I never got laid playing video games, so the choice was easy. But like I still had Street Fighter 2, so I'd play that like
Yeah.
if friends were over, but like it wasn't like a thing that I was like working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like now with like kids, like I don't what the fuck's a Fortnite?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even care.
That's an online game.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Like I don't want to connect. I guess I don't want to connect with anybody but comics. So it's not even a generation thing. I just don't want to meet anybody.
Yeah, but like I'm talking more like
they're cool. I like talking to comedy.
I don't like talking to
like
people.
when you're
unless they're
21,
comics.
like when you were 21 and you realized you can't talk to a 15-year-old anymore.
Well, I was working with them,
But
yeah, I
like you
guess so.
couldn't
I
hang
guess-
out with them. You're just like these.
But I
fucking
didn't really
kids.
ever hang out anyway. Like I didn't have a social scene until comedy. I really didn't have like
friends to hang out with.
yeah,
afterwards?
remember that one time we went to that Halloween club, the club on Halloween?
Maybe.
That was like me doing like stretching it and trying to go
shit.
hang out with people.
I like comedy civilians like once in a while.
Man,
Once
I
in a
can't,
while.
bro.
Yeah, once in a while, like because I have some comedy civilian friends that I like just because it's like oh we're not talking about
just comedy.
yeah I'm not talking shop for a night,
Yeah.
but then the rest of the time
Yeah.
I mean, I can hang with people that I've known for a bit, for a bit. You know, like I can hang out with them for a little
Yeah.
bit. If they're family, like friends that are like family, yeah, I can talk. We can talk about anything else. You know, because they don't ask me about comedy. I can't hang out with people that because that's what it comes up all the time. Like I don't want to talk comedy with civilians, and they always want to talk comedy.
Oh, I get it.
But then I also just don't like talking.
But don't you like being told that you're so brave?
No, I hate it. Oh my god, I hate it. I actually tell everybody, I'm like, no, I'm not. I actually am even in my comments, anytime someone tries to compliment me, I'm like, no, I'm just a comic. Shut up.
No, I say 9/11 firefighters wish they were me.
yeah. They could sell merch. I saw one. They do. They knock it out with merch. Oh, bless you. Did it stop it? No.
Kept going.
Oh, it still came out. Oh, okay. No, it's all right.
It was a soft sneeze.
We have multiple guests all the time that just pop on. And who did you bring?
Oh, this is a lovely, talented comedian, Tiana Daniez.
Hello.
Hey.
Tiana?
I'm sorry, your dog ripped this toy up. It's
Oh, it's
all
all right.
over your apartment.
Oh well, man, son of a bitch. Literally. So were you on the show today too?
I was not. No, I was supporting Edward here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay. That's nice of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. How long you been doing comedy?
Not super long. Just a couple of months. I'm pretty green.
Oh yeah. How is it for you?
So much fun. I'm loving it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the
Oh.
best part. That's the best time. It is because like you still
Those first few months?
still love it. Like
Yeah.
you're still excited to pay $5.
Oh, you know that's an LA thing too.
It's also a generational thing too, because like older comics didn't really have to pay to do open mics either.
Yeah. Well, there was 12 of them.
Yeah,
There was so little then.
but like in like 2006, like I don't ever remember having to pay for any open mic.
Yeah, I don't remember that
I
either.
have never paid for an open mic.
But do you remember when like it started to be like, oh, you have to buy a drink here, or you gotta do this to perform here?
I've never done that.
Does he need water?
You might just be lapping.
The wheels are coming off the cart on this.
But no, like that's like I was looking for gigs on Craigslist for the longest time too.
Yeah, I don't. If it's like to buy a drink, it's like whatever. At least you're getting something out of it. You
Yeah.
know. But if it's just the $5 for stage time, it's like get out of here.
Like the Haha used to do that.
Oh yeah, well that's because he's a
Like-
fucking
Then they were like, you can have a drink if you pay $5.
yeah.
It was just like, what?
Don't freak out.
It's such a weird. Like coffee shops never had that, but now like when you go to like a coffee shop open mic or to like anywhere, it's just like you have to buy one item minimum. I'm like, there's a fucking coffee shop, guys. No, like no one's here. It's almost abandoned.
Yeah, my friend asked me to put his name in the bucket for an open mic, and I was like, oh, hey, I need to put his name in the bucket. And they were like, no, he needs to be here. He needs to buy a drink first. I'm like,
Yeah,
he's on his way.
like that's also a new thing too. Like they do buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, there was just lists. There was just like a list. You'd show up, do it, and then we got the fucking These everyone gets a trophy fucking kids.
Yeah, man, that's all it was. It
comedy.
became that. It became that weird generation.
That fucking that everyone gets a trophy kids. Like, there's no losers. We're all equal.
It's that let's do it as a bucket. We'll all put our name, and when you know.
It's fair.
The thing is this. Open mics is how it is, motherfuckers. All right? Guaranteed hitters go up whenever they want, and usually early. The rest of you fucking fucks, fucking figure it out. That's how we did it in Dallas.
Well, like how
it was like the guaranteed hitters could go up whenever they want. If they worked the weekends at the clubs, they were able to go up whenever they wanted, and usually there was a block for them. And then everyone else would sign up on the list. You signed up first, you got up first.
Yeah, you got up first.
You know, there was no bucket. It's like, yo, you showed up. Here you go. You're first. You're second. You're third.
Well, it's just because in LA, a bunch of people are pieces of shit, and they just want.
Well, they want to be coddled through. They want to be coddled through the entertainment industry.
So if they're like, okay, they're not only going to come into the room, like right before their sets. So,
that too, yeah.
So that's why the bucket thing is. So people
that they
hang
can
out,
sit there.
And so yeah, you can
but then they're not even laughing.
Still
They just
not
sit
be
there.
listened to.
And if I'm early and I put my name in the bucket first, guess whose name is at the bottom of the bucket?
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah. So you figured out the trick.
Get there late.
That's why a good host will stick their hand in like it's like a
blender.
Witch hair.
Witch hair?
Yeah, like like stick your hand in like cold spaghetti.
Yeah, that was a great metaphor. Yeah. I like that. Did you like that metaphor?
That was good. That was a good metaphor.
Simile.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a good simile.
Yeah, very good similes.
Is that why you wanted to be a comic? Because you know grammar?
No, I wanted to be a comic because I kept dating guys who tweeted my jokes.
What?
Oh, man.
They're like, you're never going to use this.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will someday.
Now you are. So you would just tell them jokes and they tweet it?
Yeah, I'd be like, can I tweet? Like, you're not going to use it.
So you hung out with comics before you were a comic?
It was comedy adjacent, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, were you like improv?
No.
Or were you like sketch?
No, I would go see like shows.
Oh, okay.
Comics always want people to come see their shows, and when you say, "Oh, let's go see this comedy show," they're like, "Why do you want to go to a comedy show?"
Yeah. That's funny. It's true. Yeah, that's how comics are like, "What? No."
You're going to a show? What's wrong with you? I like comedy. I don't know.
It's weird when like I find people go regularly and they pay, and I was like, "What?"
Why does that freak you out?
Because like I haven't paid for a comedy show ever.
I love those people.
Like
I don't like them in the front though.
Like I don't
like seeing my fans up in the front.
Yeah.
Just happy. I'm like, yo, you guys sit in the back. All right, watch me do what I do. Okay, because you kind of freak me out when you're there being supportive.
Just being there with a gleeful smile.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not that great, but I am pretty good.
I'll pay some time if it's like for like a friend's show and like it's helping them out. Like,
well, yeah, you should do that. Yeah, but then I just don't go. I'm like, oh man, I want to support you, but I don't want to give you money.
And like it depends on the friend too. Like, am I on the show? I don't even want to go.
Oh, Johnny gets pissed, bro.
I get mad
when he was in Houston. Man,
what'd you do in Houston?
I got him guest spots on my shows, and he was just all angry, like, oh,
that vegan rage.
It was that vegan rage that came out. All I smelled was meat in Houston. Barbecue here, barbecue there. And then it rained?
Yeah.
I fucking had a thunderstorm? No one told me that.
No
one told me Houston was prone to thunderstorms.
Okay, all right.
You're a terrible guide, Nick.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's the wrong person.
You could have easily Googled that.
I don't Google shit.
Houston is famous for rain.
I know it now because I didn't Google it because it's in my heart. Because there is regret and there's anger there.
This is a guy you made friends with years ago?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't any options.
We were the only Mexicans at this like
at this like dingy fucking bar. That's a front. It's a front for something.
Well, the Hyperion Tavern, like it's this shack, but when you're inside, it looks like what would happen if the Bear Country Jamboree and the Haunted Mansion got squeezed together.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a barn, but there's like law books on the walls, and then there's this huge chandelier just hanging in the middle of the room. Like it
was a weird place to do shows. Like we'd be there like at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'd be there late because the guy had a talk show where he brought everybody around.
Yeah,
and like we had a magician, we had a fire spitter, this fire spitter couldn't show up one day because he actually drank the lighter fluid.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah.
God, dummy.
Then the guy who hosted it was like he had a band or something.
George Earth, yeah.
George Earth.
Yeah, you could see him bartending at the
Little Joy.
Little Joy, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you ready for that lifestyle?
Oh, I'm living it.
Are you ready? Are you ready to be in comedy?
It's all I've ever dreamed of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's great.
Drink tickets.
Yep,
You know, empty
There's a
taverns.
point when you get big enough where you don't even need the drink tickets anymore.
Oh, wow.
You just show up.
A fan of your podcast will show up and buy you a drink.
Oh, I don't like them to.
Okay.
Why?
Because
You
first off,
earned it.
You
Well,
earned it. People like you. They
I
want to
just
come see
start.
you.
Well, here's the thing. I just started drinking like a year ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You never drank before that?
No. I was drunk twice before that.
He does look
But
really
I didn't
young.
drink.
Are you like 22? Is that why
No,
you started
I'm
drinking last
36.
year? No.
Yeah. So, so I don't drink. Like I do drink, but very little. And the problem is that people want to send you the ultimate shot. Like one of the reasons I was drunk before I started drinking was because someone sent me a shot that had 5 liquors in it. And when you're on stage, people are like, drink it. Drank it, didn't know. Like, all right, whatever. Let me just continue my jokes. And then they sent another one, did it again.
Fuck.
Just to get through my set, and I was done. I was like,
You just let your
"Ugh."
crowd boss you around like that.
Well, that's why I stopped. That's why I would tell a lot of venues, well, when you do bars and things like that, often you don't have the choice of telling the bartenders, like, hey, don't do it. Now you got to tell them, don't let anyone send me a shot. Don't let anyone send me a drink. Because not only does it interrupt my show, they're going to bother me to drink it until I actually do. And back then, I was sober.
Oh, they did that to you in Houston. They wanted you to chug wine.
They wanted me to chug wine in Houston.
Yeah, and it was like, I'm not gonna do this, and for good reason. It was the first show. You
What am
already
I
had
doing
a glass.
comedy here waiting for a drink ticket when I go out there and get a
Oh, yeah, go to Texas. They'll fill you up with drinks, man, if you want it.
well,
Does this podcast give us drink tickets?
Do you want a drink? Huh?
what do you got?
We got,
I don't know.
whiskey
Wine and bourbon.
wine.
I think that's
bourbon.
what it is. Yeah, man. I don't have much.
I used
See,
to
I
like
just
drinking.
started drinking.
I stopped. I
Yeah?
recently just stopped, but I used to really like it. It was my favorite.
So you just stopped. You just started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
I
guys
ju-
like Freaky Friday?
Yeah.
Or you guys?
Did you guys pee in a fountain
Wait a
at the same
minute.
time?
Yeah.
During
I
the
used to
lightning
only
storm?
eat vegetables.
Ah.
Whoa.
I used to wear blue shirts.
Are you craving steak lately?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Well, then
No.
you're fine.
Oh.
Vortex Viernes.
Like, whoa.
So I stepped out of scene. I was like, no, I don't fucking eat meat.
Yeah. No, don't even put that label on me. All right.
Okay.
Let's calm down.
I
Let's bring
eat
that
meat
back.
though. I love meat. I got myself my beef jerky, my Robertson's beef jerky.
Oh, that's a lot of beef jerky. That's like a whole tub.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's that like.
Do you eat beef jerky in the tub? Oh, I just want to
Like
smell
in
it.
the tub?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Seriously, it floats.
No.
I bet you.
No. I
Yeah.
would never do
It
that.
would- oh,
Yeah.
it's sealed. I don't want.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't want to
sealed.
break that seal.
It's a
Use
truck
it.
stop beef jerky.
Ah.
Yeah, it's truck stop
At a
beef
Buc-ee's
jerky.
It is.
from Texas.
Oh no, but this is from Love's, but Buc-ee's is good too.
Loves.
Yeah,
I like
Love's
the
truck stop.
specialty.
Well, what?
I like the specialty beef jerky.
Yeah, he likes like
Teriyaki.
teriyaki style. I just like
Truck stops
hardcore.
are good for beef jerky
And
and Gothic knives.
Oh,
True, very true. Yep.
And
quick.
those beaver t-shirts. Haven't you seen a Buc-ee's
Oh, yeah,
truck
beaver
stop
t-shirts.
t-shirt?
What? No. What's this?
How do you know Buc-ee's? Where are you from?
I'm not from Texas, but I dated a guy from Texas, and he had a bunch of Buc-ee's
Oh
t-shirts.
no.
A quick fun fact: I was a
I'm actually
a
gonna have
spokesperson,
piece.
sorts of bulk beef jerky
No.
in early 2006.
Of what?
Bulk beef jerky.
Oh, I thought you
I'm
said
telling
broke
Alicia Silverstone to you.
broke beef jerky. It's like the snack for when you go see Brokeback Mountain.
Oh no, they're the higher end beef jerkies. So I got
Yeah?
used to it. Yeah.
Okay. I just like rough, tough beef jerky.
I like savory, just
Mm-mm.
like it should
I
be
like it to
cooked.
feel like I'm on the fucking prairie.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like Laura Ingalls Wilder right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is I'm ready to go on the Oregon Trail.
I always felt my teeth were shifting. Have you ever like
A little
beef
bit.
jerky like that, and you just like yank on
He's
it?
getting
Yeah, I
spoiled.
like when it's soft. I don't know.
That's Buc-ee's.
Oh, I'd wear that.
I actually did a whole bit on Buc-ee's.
A Buc-ee's bit?
Yep.
Buc-ee's beef jerky bit.
Yep. No, Buc-ee's in general. But
Oh.
yeah.
Have you guys ever taken a shower at a truck stop?
No.
No, why would you do that?
They're there. I've
was
driven
it in a
through.
big rig or was it?
No.
Just to try it out, you're like, fuck it. Let's try it
There's a
out.
bunch of
thought
truckers
about
pissing
it.
in a circle, you know. You gotta get a boner somehow, so you get in the middle. And
You gotta make friends on the road, guys. You
Yeah.
don't know who's gonna have your back or
Road's a
not.
lonely place.
road
That's
friends.
funny, man. What made you go to this to do that?
I've never done it, but I've seen it, and I've always thought about it.
You want to do it?
Yeah. It's not a definite no. Like
you
you
gotta
guys
take like probably like shower sandals.
sandals, and that's
Yeah.
about it. I think.
I don't want to take a shower in anywhere where I have to have sandals on to take a shower.
Well,
Really?
I don't want to, but sometimes I need to take a shower. Like if I'm at a gym,
I don't.
Okay.
I just come home.
but if like I have to go to work right after or something like that.
I don't. I'll just go to work. Actually, I don't have
Oh.
a job, so no, I just come.
Yeah. But like if that was an option, you would just go to work all stinky.
Well, I mean,
No,
like
I would always schedule.
I don't
around
want
it.
to use a public bathroom, but sometimes you gotta use it.
Well, I use a public bathroom.
I'm all right with it. I'll
Yeah.
put on the sandals. They provide soap and shampoo. Like
Yeah?
they got all the like 24-hour fitness in Alhambra.
Mm.
They would have like soap and shampoo and like fucking conditioner.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
it was
it's like
yeah.
pumps, right? Yeah.
Oh.
But I also, my dad took us to the swimming pool when we were really young, the public swimming pool when I was about 6.
Yeah. That's probably where you have to start. You have to
That's
start
yeah,
there.
because like I remember my dad being like, "Hey, we got to shower off. Come on." And I was like, "Huh?" But I got to get naked. And then he dropped his trousers and was like, "Yeah, you got to get naked. We got to get in the shower. Come on." And then we got in the shower, showered off the chlorine, and left. And like I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess that's how guys do it. We
Well,
just
you
shower,
had a
leave."
gang-banging dad.
Yeah, my dad spent time in prison, so he was
He's like, get in there, shower.
"Come on, what you doing?"
They just delouses you,
Yeah.
just throws.
With your little shower sandals.
Hold on, let me look up your culo. Make sure you're not bringing
Yeah.
any baby Ruths or Kit Kats into
Or he,
the house.
or he makes him look, hey, check real quick. Just make sure I don't bring anything.
I'm gonna shower and you look at the door, and then when you shower, I look at the door. Okay.
Fuck around. How was your dad?
My dad was a violent drunk. They got divorced in.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
In '88. No, it's fine.
They got divorced at 88.
Yeah, 1988 was the last time I saw him.
Really?
And then, I don't know. This was maybe like 4 years ago. My sister called me up and she's like, "I have news. I don't know. Are you gonna take it? Because I have mixed feelings about it myself." And she's like, "Dad died last June."
Whoa.
And I was just like, it weirded me out because like it was like I always knew I was gonna get one of two things. I was either gonna get a call from him reaching out,
Yeah.
or the call that he was dead. And I was just like, and the only thing that weirded me out was that I didn't feel anything. Like he was a memory from '88, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good one either.
Well, yeah. But I asked my sister. I was like, "What was your?" You said you had mixed feelings because my sister hated him. If you ever
Yeah.
want to like piss her off, just be like, "Dad exists," and she's like, "Brr." So I was like, "What are your mixed feelings?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I hope he suffered, that son of a bitch. what he did to us, what he did to mom." I was like, "Oh, you just have one feeling and you're really into it." But it's funny how she found out that he died was because she found his old ID card and a social security card for some reason, and so she's like, "Oh shit, I could probably get cheap health insurance." So she was like trying to get health insurance since she had like his info, and then in doing that, she found out that he died.
Oh,
and
man.
then she was like, "I think he remarried, and I think he has another kid, but I think he has a house in Arizona. I think that we can get." And I was just like, I don't want to fucking like
Damn.
go
figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your sister's going deep.
But yeah, she's. I mean,
She's the older one,
yeah.
so she has like more vivid memories. That's
Yeah.
interesting because like, what if she was planning to murder your dad and that's how she found out he died last June? How do you feel? Well, I wanted to fucking tear his skin off, and then I wanted to eat his heart. You're like, oh, well, that's a mixed bag of feelings, I guess.
I'm mixed about all this.
But I mean, my family like I feel so boring just because my whole like family like beyond my generation or like older like it's such a fucking telenovela of just
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school, my aunt came to my work. I work at
Yeah.
Subway, and
Sure, they hook it up, homie.
no, she comes in and she's just like, I want to talk to you about something. She's like, I think I might be your sister. I was like, okay, explain. So then she like tells me like a bunch of shit that she experienced growing up and shit that didn't feel right. And then I was like, yeah, weird. She's like, what should I do? I was like, ask. It's like, just ask. I'm just like, well, we'll get an answer. So she sat in it for a year, and then she asked my mom, her sister. She's like, and my mom was like, no. And she's like, okay, well, really. She's like, here's why I felt this. And she tells her everything. And then at the end, my mom's crying. She's like, yes, you are. Because...
What? Your aunt was your sister?
Well, yeah. So
oh, my God. How come this isn't in your act? I'm kidding.
What happened was that my mom was seeing someone that my grandparents didn't approve of. So she got knocked up. So she had her in Tijuana. So when my grandparents moved to the U.S., they were like, hey... This is old school Mexico thinking in the 60s. Who could ever love a single mom? So let's just say that she's ours, so that way you have a second chance at being a person. And just like my grandma was very like my mom had like scars from getting beat up by my grandma.
Yeah.
And my grandma was always just like, don't go out at night because you're gonna get some girl pregnant. It's like, you're gonna do drugs. You're gonna like. I'm just like, you think I'm a lot cooler than what I am. So when my grandparents died, I found out that my grandparents were never married because what happened was when they lived in Mexico City, my grandfather was married to my grandmother's sister, and then my grandmother and my grandfather, they hooked up, and he abandoned his wife for his
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just left town.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
So and then never got divorced, never did anything. So
yeah.
So she was still married in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are just a strange family now. Do you guys just like have not
We're
that wild
cool.
connection?
Like in '91, my mom and me and my two of my sisters, we went down there, and she was like, just tell her that it's all in the past. I just want my sister back. And like she was like whatever, like it's a long time ago. And my grandmother got mad. She's like, why are you talking to her? Just like, why are you,
the family's dead to us. Like, was it like
Damn.
that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
just my grandma's just
Like,
nuts and just full of
hateful, evil woman.
and she wasn't hateful, just you know.
Like a dick. My grandpa was a piece of shit. He fucking choked me once. And from then on, he's been written off. I'll never.
From then on, that's the only way he can come.
Yeah.
He just choked you once, and
Yeah.
you were like, "That's it."
That's how long I can hold a grudge. He choked me when I was 6, and I'm still waiting.
When you were 6?
When I was 6.
He's holding a grudge from his past life.
Yeah, what are you, a little Asian cat boy?
Good reference. The
Was
ring,
that
right?
that wasn't a good metaphor?
Yeah.
That was a good reference.
Good reference. We use metaphors, similes, and references on
There you
this
go.
podcast. Please.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that crazy in my family. I don't know my family story that well. I don't know much about them.
You don't have any hatred towards anybody?
No.
A lot of annoyance?
I'm just annoyed. But I'm annoyed in general.
Yeah, you're not dedicated to an emotion. You're
No.
just like in that weird fart zone.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's just around your. Like,
No, yeah, I don't have any hatred towards anybody in my family.
Your sister jumped in that. Like,
Yeah.
fuck my dad. And you're just like, oh, he's dead. What the fuck? He was never part of my life, and he wasn't a good dad when he was.
Well, like she was going off about that, and I was just like really getting into like being happy about him dying. I was just like, look, you got to let that go. It's just
It's not
like
healthy at
being
some
happy
point.
about it is you're gonna make yourself sick. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's poison.
yeah.
It'll weigh you down. It'll destroy you.
Yeah, and some people live with
But
that.
at least it's done.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she'll find something else to hate.
Oh no, is she one of those?
She's just a spiteful, grudgeful person.
She's gotten better, but
Are you like the only source
Well,
of
you
love
seem
in
like
her?
a happy guy.
I mean, I try to be. I mean,
Yeah, but you have a healthy outlet. I think stand-up or any form of creativity is a healthy outlet for like whatever
Well,
you have
need
to
an
work
outlet.
with.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, yeah. Like we all have an opportunity to between the podcast and stand up where we talk about our feelings and
Yeah.
and we're constantly thinking about how we feel and
Yeah.
putting it out there as opposed to keeping it all in and like I'm fine, everything's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we're also taught to like kind of like explore ourselves, figure out where we want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have to stay self-aware as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea about being a stand-up.
If there's no vulnerability to an act, I find that like some audiences don't want to even engage.
Yeah.
They'll be fine with it for a bit, but it's not fun for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
What were you saying?
Hello, mister.
Like, people just feel like they don't really attach themselves to the person if there's no, like, humanity in them or being shown through them.
Well, then let me ask you this, good sir. What's one of your favorite pieces of advice?
Favorite piece of advice? Like, in comedy or
In
just
general.
in general?
Do one in comedy. We'll start with that, and then in general.
It's funny. Someone just asked it on Facebook, just what was best advice, and I just put like a list of I just listed like a few things on there. So it was things like just focus, just try to make yourself happy. If you try to make other people happy, they'll never be happy. And if you make yourself happy, people will either be inspired by your happiness or not, but at least you're happy.
I like that. I live by that.
People tell you who they are right out the gates. Listen.
Oh, okay. I've heard that one.
Maya Angelou.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, she said, when people tell you who they are, believe them the first time.
Well, I mean, I always...
Which is exactly what you said, just different vocabulary.
Yeah. So when has this come up?
What?
Do you feel like that, knowing that, has actually helped you with certain people?
Well, definitely with dating, because there was definitely people that I dated in the past were just kind of like, it's like that's a big red flag. That's and I'm like, maybe it'll be fine.
That's
and
definitely
then
something as you get older, though, right?
Yeah. What?
That's definitely something as you get older, right? Like when you're dating, as opposed to your early 20s to your later 20s, maybe early 30s. You're immediately like, no, this person's fucking crazy. I'm gone. I'm not
Well, when you're in your 20s, you're like, yeah, she's on fire, but I'll stick my dick in it anyway.
Yeah.
What could go right? And then, now it's like, she said a word weird. I'm like, that could be something later. Never mind.
True.
It's like, yeah, she was...
I found, the way that I started realizing how to be good in relationships was basically I had to be happy with a person, right? And also... I had to remind the person that we were there to be happy together. And although we will run into little arguments, little things like that, in the end, you have to remember that we're here to be happy together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I would always keep. Because I think so many relationships, they end up in that bitter, weird area and they never let it go. And they completely forget, look, you're just supposed to make each other happy. Are you planning to stay with each other? Then let it go. If you're not planning on it, then break up. That's it. That's all it is.
Like, I have an agreement that, if you're not happy, I'm not happy because we're not happy. And if that amount of unhappiness stays within us, we can't keep dating.
Yeah.
Because if my happiness isn't important to you, and if your happiness isn't important to me, or if we're not sufficing it to some point, there's no point of even trying.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta find someone when you're like, oh, fuck, she doesn't like fucking strawberries. Fuck. And, it matters to you. Like, if I didn't
if you were that big... if you were a big deal about strawberries...
No, I get like that. Like, if someone got me, a strawberry shake and I didn't want it, I'd still be like, fuck.
But I've learned... See, that's the thing.
I fucking like chocolate and you fucking know it.
But she brought up Seinfeld.
Oh, no.
In that sense of, the way they were, they got very, ooh, they did this. I didn't like it. I think that's growing up, where you got to realize that nobody's going to be 100% perfect.
Oh yeah, no one's going to be.
And as long as you can deal with whatever throws you off, as long as it's little, and it's not one of your big lines, you're fine.
Yeah, everybody has flaws. You just have to pick the flaws that you can tolerate.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I don't even think of it as flaws. It's like that as that person. Like, you gotta accept that person
everybody
is
has
who they
characteristics that you don't like.
Yeah.
So you have to know which of those characteristics you can tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
He cheats all the time, or he leaves his socks on the floor. Which one can you tolerate?
Yeah. And that's really the big thing. It's like, you're going to be loyal to me? Are you going to do this? Fine, then we can make this work.
Exactly.
I can get over everything else. You leave the socks on the floor, I'll pick them up. I don't give a fuck. It's not going to bother me that much.
Exactly.
So, the third time you trip on socks. And you're like, hey, fuck this.
Yeah, you go fuck your mistress. I'm not gonna...
You're gonna punch a
You
hole
can
in
leave
this
your shop
wall.
glass anywhere. Go to Daryl. He's always barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your life advice.
Yeah, I feel like I had more. I think it was just because now I'm
Comedy
Well, you didn't
advice
say
and
comedy
life
advice.
comedy advice. Well, because I've been teaching it for like 10 years. So,
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So you want professionally or creatively or?
Let's do. See, I think that's the thing is that everybody says creative, right? But I always like professional. Let's do both. Because I have them separated also.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, professionally, it's just like be kind and fair, and surround yourself with people that do the same. Like ask questions if something seems sketchy.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ask around. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's professionally.
What?
Professionally. Because I say you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So hang out with people that are upbeat, successful. You will learn how to be upbeat and successful.
Mhm.
You guys will rage each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
I also think like you don't have to burn bridges either. You know.
No,
You're
you
just-
don't have
just
to.
Not. I don't know, because there's certain people that like they're good people, but they're just not.
I remember I told one person who was a fine person, but him and me dealing with each other I didn't like. And I've said, dude, I'm sure you're great to everybody else. Somewhere along the line, our work ethics don't match up. And that's it. I was like, we don't follow the same work ethics, so I'm not gonna do your gigs anymore. But I'm sure you treat everyone else fine. You know? He didn't accept it well, but but that's how it was. It's like, yeah, we're done. You know? I won't diss you. I won't go behind like say bad shit about you. But between you and me, we don't need to be doing gigs anymore.
Yeah, like I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
Like there was just a point where I was like, no offense, you're not fun to work with.
Yeah.
Was it Johnny?
Yeah.
It was,
It's Johnny.
I can be a hassle. I can be a hoff.
All right, now creative advice.
Creative. I mean,
Inspire me.
Well, now you said it like that. Well,
No, I don't like inspiring people.
Well, no, I mean, just like honesty trumps clever.
Yep, very true.
Don't judge the work, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if you have nothing to write about, just get on the news. Just start writing, set up punchline jokes until
Figure something.
just do that until you find something that you want to write about.
That's actually perfect advice.
Do shit live a life worth commenting on.
Yeah.
If you've been doing the same shit all week, go
do
something
find
different.
something.
Someone invites you to do something that's out of your wheelhouse. Go do it. Put yourself in positions to feel feelings, so that way you have an opportunity to have a perspective as opposed to just being like,
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. That's the problem with a lot of new comics is that they don't have much going on.
5 mics a day. 5 mics a day.
Well, and then all they end up doing is talking about masturbating the whole time. It's like, oh my
Which
god.
is what they're doing at the open mic.
Because I'm at the open mics, you guys. So you know what they're talking about at open mics right now? They're talking about eating ass. They're talking about puking on dicks.
That I haven't heard.
Yeah, it's very common among female
Really?
comics. So puking on dicks and eating ass. That's what's going on out there in the open mic world. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
That's also what's going on with SoundCloud rappers.
I feel like SoundCloud rapper has become like 15 years ago. Like Valley Comic was kind of like a dig. Then now that's where comics can only place comics can afford to live now.
SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
You fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine. Although I guess he's doing great now.
SoundCloud rappers, they don't have any guidance, but like they release like fucking like crazy. Like that's why like a lot of them suck.
It's like that
It
Eminem
sounds
line.
like you pay a lot of attention to SoundCloud rappers.
I do.
It's like that Eminem line where he's like, "Oh, you sold 10 million albums? Oh, you released 10 million albums?"
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a new Eminem album, Kamikaze.
No, I know Eminem.
Really good.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
The loop.
Oh. All right. Well, how do you feel, Johnny?
I feel like we've accomplished a lot during this hour.
Yeah.
So like we got.
Is there anything you want to leave on tape to the world so they know about you?
Anything, Ed?
What do you want to leave in the time capsule?
Anything you want to leave in the time capsule?
That I want to leave in the time capsule.
Maybe your Twitter.
Like yeah.
Just your Twitter.
Maybe Twitter.
When the end of the world happens.
There's a bunch of You're gonna wanna brighten up your day when the world ends. So at Ed Galvez on all social medias for sick ass tweets and
there you go.
And
crazy burns on Orthodox Jews.
There you go. There you go.
If you have Amazon Prime, you can see a movie that I'm in called Amigo and Dead there. Or there's a new movie that's out on like iTunes and wherever called Brand New Old Love, directed by Kat Reinhardt. I don't know if you know her.
I know the name. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hilarious comedian.
Yeah.
Writer, director. So.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Anything
right.
for you, Nick?
No.
Good.
I don't know. What do I say?
I don't know. Listen to.
I'll be in Billings, Montana next week.
Oh yeah, I'll be in Billings, Montana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Big Sky.
Billings.
Yeah, it's pretty.
There's Scary Stories with Edie and Nick. Listen to that one.
Oh, it's doing way better than this podcast. No, I'm just
Probably.
kidding.
I was doing the best I could. I can't.
No, not you. Not
It's this
our
podcast.
podcast in general.
No one wants to
True
get on
Scary
board.
Stories with Edie and Nick, which I'm sure most of you listen to. If you leave reviews on that one, leave reviews on ours. Tell us how much you love Dead. All right,
Also,
let us
5
know.
stars. Rate it. Oh, the
At least
Insanity.
for Ed.
Right? You still do that one?
I need to do it again. I'm going to talk about moth memes on Oh the Insanity.
I was just telling you about moth
Yeah.
memes.
What
Oh,
happened?
God. No.
It's just this weird phenomenon. You know how memes are.
I know.
The meme
I
world.
was telling him.
Yeah.
I know.
Right now, moth memes are the big thing.
That's why we have to do our moth sketch. I'm just telling you.
They're a big thing right now.
Moths? Like the
Moth-
I have this whole theory about the humor of today, and it's almost like this generation who creates these memes and loves them, which is I guess not millennials. It's the
14-year-olds. Generation
is
Z.
that their humor is, I know the joke, I know the trick, so let's make this lame thing funny. Like, I already know your jokes, I already know your tricks, so let's live in the trick.
Which
and
isn't that
let's
what-
over celebrate that we all get the trick.
Isn't that what baby boomers do, though? They're just removed enough from our dads to where
I guess so. Maybe baby boomers also had that in a
Their
sense of,
parents are
but they're more
millennials, so
cynical.
they don't know.
They're more cynical in
Yes.
the sense of, like, the older generations
Yeah.
are like, do your trick. I already
For
know.
sure.
I'm gonna figure it out. These new generation are like, I love this trick.
they're like, I know your trick, and I'm gonna cheer you on
Let's
the whole
cheer
way.
you on
Yes.
this trick. Yeah, they're very much like that.
Yes.
Like, oh, it's so fucking ridiculous.
I love
Same
that.
moth meme again, and so that's kind of what I'm gonna talk about on that podcast.
So fucking everyone gets a trophy raising people.
It kind of is.
Fucking-
Well,
Trophy. Everyone gets a moth meme.
you know what it is, and it's and it's also the idea of, like, I think they've lived in such despair of the world, because if you were born around that time, you were born in 9/11, so you've known nothing but war and fear of terrorism. So it's almost like, no, I already seen, what could potentially, I don't even know what the fuck's going on in my life. I was born into this weird chaos, so I might as well just enjoy the ridiculousness.
And you're also born in like over prescription of ADD medicine. You're born in like
Yeah,
oversized, crowded
You're born
school.
addicted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're born
Ritalin,
addicted
yeah.
to fucking
Adderall.
mood
Yeah,
stabilizers.
it's a weird moment in
So,
generations.
yeah, because I'm old enough to where like that wasn't an option. I was just like,
Yeah, they
like,
just yelled at
big-
you
yeah,
until
being
you
depression.
feel bad enough
Yeah,
where your
I'll give
soul
you something
wouldn't
to
come
cry
back.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's also this. Our generation, or at least didn't have we weren't connected in the way that this generation is, to where we all realize, oh, wait a minute, no. Yeah, that happens. Oh, that happens. Oh, we all have these similar experiences. It was almost like, do you remember back in the day, it was a badge of honor to act like you had the worst life? Like in high school, people wanted to act like they had the worst life. Oh, you think you have it bad. They want to act even worse.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah,
like,
everybody.
now they don't even want to act like that. They're actually complete opposite from that. I mean, this is a generation that was born from the Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their parents we have the worst life. They're like, fucking silliness.
Or no, well, just with social media, like they're
Yeah.
trying to make their lives look as good as possible.
Yeah, so it's a different, it's a weird.
Except for the weird handful that were just like fucking mental breakdown, like.
Yeah, but then they also celebrate it. Having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
They celebrate it. You know, I mean, all their celebrities started talking. We never heard celebrities talk about fucking rehab and mental breakdowns and bipolar disorder or anything like that. That's this generation.
Yeah, not once did like DMX go, I'm sad.
No.
Not once was there any like
He
emotion.
prayed for his enemies.
Yeah, he was always "Arr, arr, arr," and he was never.
He never had one song where he's like, I have asthma, which he does. You know?
Asthma. That's why I rap in this stuttering beat.
I'm rapping this stuttering beat. Anyway, so yeah, Brett Kavanaugh. All right, guys. Then there's that generation.
Oh, that weird.
We're like, what? What's wrong with fucking doing what we did? That's what Animal House
Those
is
are
about.
baby boomers. That's what I was
We
talking
had
Those are
a
baby
devil's
boomers.
three-way. I'm upset that they didn't make him explain the drinking game and the rules of that game.
Yeah.
How do you play the devil's three-way drinking game?
Well, you get a Ouija board, you invite the devil to the party, and then he fucking makes a girl believe that you sexually assaulted her. All right, anyway.
It was the devil.
It was the devil.
Game to
Which,
dick.
you know what? They would fall for.
They were-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the conservative
but-
Christians would be like, yep, it's the devil. Devil
Bible
got him.
loves
Devil
blaming
did
the
it
devil.
again.
The devil and immigrants. Those are the two things the Bible about blames the most for the downfall of
Yeah.
America.
Never their grandparents and themselves. All right. Anyway. So anything else? Anything else you want to say? Good to. I think we said it all. What
do you
would you,
wanna say
about
anything
you,
about you?
following you.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got on the podcast. Tell them.
I
Tell
did.
them.
Well, I guess if I'm gonna be,
Because you said you have funny tweets.
Ed has hilarious tweets. I have really funny tweets.
Yeah,
And
so what
at
is it?
T Danyes on Twitter, and also
How do you spell that?
T
T?
Donyes.
there you
Danyes.
go.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it had the
And-
yes. You know, the N. I was like, you have an N
You
yet?
can see me at Sycamore Tavern on October 18th.
There you
For
go.
comedians tell jokes in their underwear. So.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. You got any gigs?
Next week I'm gonna be in Dallas with Felipe Esparza and
Yes.
Houston with Felipe Esparza.
There you go. Yeah, man.
So buy tickets.
There you
Enjoy.
go. All right. You. All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, Tom and Nick and Johnny, and you guys have a good night.
All right. Good night. The time in London is 7:36 a.m.